Assalamualaikum. Today, my roommates and I will be presenting about construction planning in project management. My name is Imarahan bin Sulaiman, and I will begin our presentation with an introduction. The project that we have chosen for this report is Pembinaan Kelas Kafa Kampung Sekolah Juru, which is located in Pulau Pinang. We will go through the specifics of the project background, such as the location, size of the structure, and any other relevant information. In addition, based on project that we have chosen, including the planning tools, work breakdown structure, and the project's critical path. We will also be covering the project's cash flow, as well as the sawtooth diagram and the S-curve of the project.
Thank you for my previous presenter. Assalamualaikum, my name is Mutrika, I'm a member of Najib, and now we're going to talk about location, size, and the detail of the project. The location for this project is Jalan Masjid Kampung Sekolah Juru 14100 Simpang 4, Pulau Pinang. The type of the building is double-story building, and the size of the building is 468 meters square for the GFA. The tender date for this project is 24th October 2019, and the project duration is for 12 months to be completed. And type of tendering method is open tendering, and the contract that they use is PWD form 203A Ref 1 2010.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Adib Memuran, the client and end user of the building. For the case study, the client for this building is the Government of Penang, or known as Kerajaan Negeri Pulau Pinang, who is the government authority for Pulau Pinang. The state government follows and is established by the Constitution of Malaysia, the Constitution of the State of Penang, and the Supreme Law of Malaysia. The government of Penang headquarters is in Georgetown, the state capital. Their principal is ready and willing to help a friend in need regardless of religion, race, position, behavior, and physical. The government of Penang's responsibility is to build, develop, and maintain the state towards the desired direction that benefiting its end user. The end users of the building are the students, teacher, management, and other workers of Kelas Kafa Masjid Kampung Sekolah Juru. The purpose of its end user, especially student, is to learn about the Islamic knowledge that was given priority by the government of Penang in elevating Islam as the official religion of our country.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Arifwajidi Muhammad Yusuf. Now, I will present about purpose and component of the building. Well, each building must have a certain function in order to meet the objective of the client and generate a profit at the end of the day. Based on the project that we have selected, the purpose of the building constructed is a double-story school building. Each building will consist 3 categories of space, which are usable space, circulation space, and auxiliary space. Each of these spaces serve a distinct purpose and advantages. For example, for a usable area, include classroom and a meeting room on the ground floor. Aside from that, usable area on the first floor consists of an office room and classrooms. For auxiliary area, they only have toilets, a storeroom, and a switch room that are located on the ground floor of this school building. Meanwhile, the circulation area in this project only has a staircase and a hallway on both levels.
Next, I will explain about work breakdown structure, WBS. The purpose of WBS in construction management is to help the project manager to run the construction activities as the construction estimate. WBS objective is to reduce the size and the complexity of the huge project. By breaking it down into smaller pieces, work may be completed concurrently by several team members, improving team productivity and simplifying project administration. Work breakdown structure for this project started on 24th September 2019 and end with the completion for the project which is on 29th October of 2020. The WBS for this project contains the preliminaries, monthly report, and all the building works. The preliminaries also include the performance bond and insurance for the whole project duration. For the building works, there are several elements that have been recorded, which are substructure, superstructure, sanitary and services, and finishes. It took 237 days for the building works to be completed.
Now, let's move to how the duration was established. The duration was established by examining on similar previous project. Evaluating the duration of similar project aids in calculating the predicted completion time. Forecasting construction duration allows the project owners to enable the contractor to finish the task within the period stipulated. The work schedule may also be analyzed to measure the quality of completed works and those that are presently in progress. In our case study, the time required to complete element work below floor finishes WBS is 31 days, which run from 25 October 2019 to 9 December 2019, and be done by 2 structures teams too. WF activity can begin once the performance bonds and insurance are issued. Next, to structure teams 2 can perform the element frame that takes 21 days to complete after the completion of WF works, which perform from 10 December 2019 to 9 January 2020. Finally, for the external wall element, the process takes 25 days to complete and will start from 30 January 2020 till 4 March 2020 after the staircase work is finished.
Now we go to the critical and non-critical activities. For the work breakdown, the critical activities are the finishes work that consists of internal floor, internal wall finishes, external wall finishes, ceiling finishes, and staircase finishes. And for non-critical activity is like a preliminary element, preliminary items, substructure, superstructure, and sanitary and
Okay, in
services.
this case study, the Gantt chart in Microsoft Project was chosen as our planning tool because it allows users to simply produce a work breakdown structure WBS and a cash flow for the project. Moreover, its interface is simple to use and comprehend since it displays the start and end times of each activity. It also helps us to visualize the project in relation to the time range in which it must be completed. It can operate project cash flow, and the data obtained from cash flow may develop an S-curve and a sawtooth. Additionally, it assists users in prioritizing tasks, defining the activities required for each, and assigning them to the appropriate team members.
The S-curve for the project is plotted between cumulative amount against time, which is months involving cumulative cost and cumulative monies received 2 months delay. The cumulative cost was obtained from the cumulative cost of work executed from each month and combined all of it. Meanwhile, the cumulative monies received 2 months delay were obtained from a cumulative value less return check. Based on the graph attached above, the cumulative monies received for the first 2 months of the project are delayed. This results in the contractor having received any payment for the first 2 months to execute their project. Hence, the contractor has to spend their own money or from the external funding for the work done, including materials on site and preliminaries. Although the contractor received progress payment after 2 months, the cost of construction is still inadequate for him to achieve the profits. In the 9th month of the project, the contractor still bears RM3,190.70, making the first until 9 months is negative cash flow. Then an intercept between 2 lines occurs and the contractor slowly gains his profits until the completion of the project. The logic of S-curve. It is one of the most widely utilized calculating technique for the project management in the construction industry. According to Mediani Apriliani in 2022, S-curve is a mathematical plotted graph that describes the whole or cumulative data obtained from a project. It is frequently used to estimate the construction project cost to help with the timeline of the work and budget. The graph usually forms a slopy, shallow shape of S, makes the reason it was called S-curve. The plotted graph is between the percentage cost of work done against the percentage of time completed, which the chart shows the construction positive or negative cash flow. An S-curve is commonly used to monitor a project's progress and development. The cost of the project is obtained from the project's cumulative cost along the construction period, consists cost of supply of material on site, payment to labor and subcontractor. The share of cumulative cost often starts slow, as it is the period of team members are either conducting market research or just getting started with initial execution phase, which might be delayed. The growth increases quickly as more progress is done, which involves major costs to construct the work. Then the line will flatten back on the upper side of the graph because the construction reached the finish point where only finishing works and approvals are left. Meanwhile, cumulative monies or tender price is obtained from the project's cumulative income received by the contractor along the construction period. However, if the payment towards the contractor is delayed, the cash flow will appear negative. Based on the graph attached below, the cash flow remains negative until the 9th month. Then the intercept between the 2 lines can be seen where contractor slowly gains his profit. Construction method that influence the S-curve. Firstly, technology advancement has given a great impact on the construction industry as it improves the quality of construction and the material used for the project. According to Rambix 2021, one of the most famous upgrades due to the technology advancement is the material used in the construction, such as recycling material like lightweight concrete. It will impact the S-curve through time management and cost because the changes made are not from the original idea during forecasting. For example, a change in materials or concrete flooring will increase or decrease the cost and time management. Second is client requirement. As we all know, variation audit is absolutely common in the construction industry. The client has the right to instruct regarding demand to switch the design or material used in the construction to the main contractor because they were the funder in the project. For example, client wish to change the in-situ concrete wall to precast concrete wall panel that are more expensive. However, the construction period will be shortened due to the quick installation on the site. This will influence both cumulative costs as the starting of the construction will be higher in cost due to orders are made to the factory and cumulative monies received to the S-curve. Plus, the structure of the S-curve will be different from the regular shape seen. Next, the completion of the building through multiple phases. Certain projects have various buildings in them with different functions such as mosque, multipurpose hall, quarters and ancillary building. The client could suddenly instruct the main contractor to complete the mosque construction with the plan to use it quickly. Due to this, the fund for the whole construction will be swift to the completion of the mosque as a primary target. The amount of time for the construction period will be longer and the breakdown of money will be different than the original plan.
Okay, right now we're going to talk about sawtooth of the project. So generally, sawtooth diagram is basically is a cash flow of a project, and according to Oxford University, it represents the income and expenses over some time interval. And for our sawtooth diagram, it been plotted between cumulative money received and the amount of the project. The cash flow represent for the cash flow of the contractor, and at the element, it will start with a negative amount of cash flow. The cash flow line will go down, and over the month the cash flow will rise up until it reach x axis, and when it reach x axis it will be a break even period, and afterwards when it start to rise again, it will represent a profit. So that is basically a sawtooth. So next, for the sawtooth of the project, the break-even period, it is when the contractor get their return from their spending or investment, and referring to CFI team, it refers to the revenue and total cost being equal, and the break-even period is basically a cash flow that intersect with the x-axis, which is month, and from the project, it be intersect at the 9th month, and the amount of cash flow for the break-even period for our project is 3,190.70 cents. The period will represent the project success when the contractor get their return from their spending. If the break-even point will be later or longer, it will represent the project have a problem or it will be not successful. So we proceed with the payback period. So basically, payback period is the period where contractor invest or spend for the project using their money. And according to CFI team, it is a duration being made to invest money for the project. The analysis for the payback period will determine the best way to shorten the payback period. And for the case study, the payback period for our project is from first month to the 9th month. So the payback period will stop when it reach to the break-even point. And the amount of cash flow that for earliest month is 62,893 and 10 cent. If the payback period will be longer, the project tend to be endangered. So that's all. Thank you, and I will pass it to the next presenter.
Now I will proceed the presentation with financing required for the project. A contractor may ask for an advance payment on a construction project to help them cover a large startup or procurement cost that may be needed to be incurred before construction begins. For example, when they had to rent or buy an expensive machinery, equipment, or material for the projects. Local banks are very appealing to owners since they are very familiar with the area and the ability to assess projects. The finance area for this project started when the project commenced until the project's middle 9 months of development. In the sawtooth diagram above, the finance area is located where the cash flow is below zero.
Moving on to profit. From the graph attached above, the profit of the project is obtained from the cash flow table. Starting from the first month, the cash flow appears negative as the progress payment to the contractor has been delayed for 2 months. This can be seen as the negative cash flow in the first month due to the capital needed to proceed with the work based on the work program. It remained until the 9th month at RM3,109.70. However, positive cash flow starts from the 10th month until the construction period ends in the 13th month. The profit that the contractor receives surely help to cover the cost of external funding to purchase the materials and generate the money for the future project.
To conclude, planning tools covers few techniques and policies that were used to help developers' team in planning management. Microsoft Project is used to aid them as it allows users to generate a WBS in Gantt chart form easily. This software also is user-friendly as it can handle both small and large projects. S-curve and sawtooth diagram can be used to determine cash flow projections. Since the duration of the project is usually reliant on the sequence of work areas, it's critical to provide a practical approach for determining the best solution that ensures the shortest project duration, allow the contractor to complete specific work as soon as possible, and adhere to a predetermined sequence of work area completion. When employing the cash flow calculator, it will minimize expenditures and increase profits. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you.